This is Brad and Dustin with Pigskin Predictions. We're going to do our picks for Week 5. Right here, we're going to have the games of the week. This is the home team. This right here in the middle is not necessarily everything we use to make our picks by, but it's either like where the teams rank in offense and defense or something, or what may be going on special with the team right now this week. Dustin's going to pick the line against the line, and he's going to pick the over and under. Last week I was 9-7, had a bad week. 37-27, had a bad 2 weeks actually. And the bye week is Philly, Detroit, San Diego, and Tennessee. Well, let's jump right in here. First game we got Tampa Bay at Atlanta. The Bucs are 3-1, and the Falcons are 2-2. Bucs are number 16 on offense and number 19 on defense, and the Falcons are 20-20, 20 on each. Since 2000, they've played 8 times, and the Bucs have won 6 of those, but Atlanta has won 2 of the last 3. Both Mayfield and Cousins both are playing really well right now.
And the line is Atlanta by 1.5, and the over-under is 43.5. I'm going to go with the over, and I'm going to take the Bucs and the points.
And I'm taking the Bucs straight up. The next game we got the Jets in Minnesota. The Jets are 2-2 and the Vikings are 4-0. The Jets are 23 on offense and 23 on defense, and that's overall rushing and passing combined. The Vikings are 10 and 23 respectively. Minnesota is 4th in points per game and 5th in points allowed per game, which is 14.8, which is pretty good. And the Jets are 6th in points allowed with 15.5, so it should be a pretty defensive game.
And the line is Minnesota by 2.5, and over-under is 40.5. I'm going to take the over and Minnesota to stay undefeated.
And I am doing the same, straight up. We got Baltimore and Cincinnati. The Ravens are 2-2 and the Bengals are 1-3. Ravens have the number 1 overall offense right now. They're number 1 in rushing yards a game with 220. And the Bengals are 26th against the rush, allowing 145 yards a game, and that doesn't go good for them. So,
and the line for that is Baltimore by 2.5. Over under is 50.5. I'm gonna go with the under, and don't look like nobody can stop Jackson and Henry right now, so I'm gonna go with Ravens.
And I am going with them as well, straight up. Let me put that right there instead. There we go. All right. The next one we got the Colts and the Jags. The Colts are 2-2, and the Jags are 0-4, but they're playing a little bit better than they were at the first of the year. The Colts are number 32 in yards allowed per game, and the Jags are number 30. So it's quite possible they're going to be running up and down the field this week. Richardson, at this time, I heard he was out, then I heard he's in, and so I'm not 100% sure what's going on with him this week. But Flacco, if he comes in at quarterback, then he does pretty well just as well, and I don't think he throws as many interceptions as Richardson. Evan Ingram should be back this week to help the Jags in the passing game. He's always been strong in the years past, and Christian Kirk is starting to come into his own again.
And the lines, but Jacksonville by 3, over under is 46.5. Going with the under, and I'm going to go with the Colts and the points.
And I am going with Jacksonville to get the first win. That's going to be a good game. All right, we got Miami versus the Patriots. The Dolphins are 1-3, and the Patriots are 1-3. The Patriots they got handled by the Niners. They gave up 30 points. The Dolphins got handled by the Titans. They gave up 29 points. Their offense has been like non-existent since Tua went out. Huntley did last year. He did good coming in, I think it was for Baltimore. He did pretty good for Baltimore for a little while. I think that he just needs to a couple more weeks practicing with the team, and he'll be back in form again.
Line is Patriots by 1. Over under is 35.5. I'm going to take the under, and I'm going to take Miami in the points.
And I'm going with the Patriots. Miami sucks right now.
Wow. Huntley only had 1 week of practice, really.
I know he didn't do very well. He'll get the hang of it. I think he'll get back into it. So, all right, we got the Browns at Washington. The Browns are 1-3, and the Commanders are 3-1, and actually they're quietly taking over the NFC East from our Cowboys. Anyway, I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Washington is number 5 in total offense, and Jaden Daniels is playing like Rookie of the Year. The Browns are still struggling. I don't expect anything to change on the road against Washington. They're playing real good right now.
And the line is Washington by 3. Over under 44.5. I'm going to take the over. And I'm taking Washington. Dan Quinn's got the Commanders playing pretty good right now.
Yeah, I agree. I actually picked the Washington up on my fantasy football team for defense this week. So we'll see how that goes. I got Washington straight up. So we got the Bills versus the Texans. Bills are 3-1, and the Texans are 3-1. And the Bills looked good. They looked really good the first of the year, like until they ran into the Ravens. But I think what's his name, the quarterback?
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen slipped my mind.
Yeah.
Josh Allen was playing like superstar, like MVP at the first of the year, at the first 3 games of the year. But anyway, I think the Texans were really good last year, obviously, but I really feel like that they haven't been playing near like they did last year. But I believe that's because the defensive coordinators are smart, and they're starting to figure out.
Probably got some film on.
Yeah, they're starting to get a little film on old boy now, so they're starting to figure out what to do. So anyway, the Bills are number 2 in points per game with 30, and the Texans haven't scored 30 all year.
The line for that is Buffalo by 1. Over under is 47.5. Going with the under. And I'm going to go with Buffalo. I didn't think Buffalo would be that good this year, losing their 2 top receivers. But they surprised me.
All right, and you're right. I didn't think they would either. I thought they'd stumble a little bit, but they got their click. I think wasn't their running back out? No, they lost their running back too, didn't they? No, Cook. That's the running back. No, Cook's still there. He's not hurt. I was thinking he got hurt, but he didn't. All right, I'm going with the Bills straight up. All right, we got Carolina and the Bears. The Panthers are 1-3, and the Bears are 2-2. They're 24th in yards per game. The Panthers are, and the Bears are 30th in yards per game. Carolina has been playing a whole lot better since Dalton took over, and Chuba, I think is how they say his name, Chuba Hubbard. I picked him up on my fantasy team too.
I've seen that.
Anyway, he's starting to get in his groove in the running game. And so I feel like they're kind of starting to hit their stride, and the Bears are 17th against the run. So
the line for that one is Bears by 4. Over under 42.5. Going with the under. What forget? And I'm going to go with Carolina and the points.
Yeah, I almost picked Carolina straight up on this game.
Yeah.
I really feel like Carolina can win this game. I really do. But I'm going to pick the Bears straight up. All right, we got the Raiders and Denver. Raiders are 2-2, and the Broncos are 2-2. Denver's number 2 in defensive yards allowed per game, and the Raiders are number 22. Denver's defense is on fire right now.
Me.
Denver's 27th in offense yards per game, so they're like the Cowboys right now, but the opposite. Cowboys have got good, decent offense, passing game, and a horrible defense right now. But anyway, Denver is 27th in offensive yards per game and 28th in points per game with 15.5. And they have played 8 times. These two teams played 8 times since 2020, and the Raiders have won every one of them.
Mine's Denver by 2.5. Over under 36.5. Going with the under. And I'm going to go with Gardner Minshew, Raiders in the points.
And I'm taking Denver.
That's a toss-up.
I know it is kind of a toss-up, but I know they haven't beat them since 2020 in 8 tries. I think at home, their defense is strong. I think they're going to get it this week. All right, we got the Cardinals and San Francisco. Cardinals are 1-3, and the 49ers are 2-2. And Washington took the Cards to the woodshed, and I thought the Cardinals were actually going to be pretty good this year. I really did. I thought they were going to do pretty good, but Washington took the Cardinals to the woodshed last week, and the Niners are just kind of now getting all their players back, except for CMC, of course, but Mason, surprisingly enough,
second in the league,
number 2 in the league in rushing, right behind Henry, and but Marvin Harrison Jr. for the Cardinals. He's been a super weapon, but he's hit it in spurts. He's good for a quarter, but he does a lot in that quarter. And then I don't know, something happens. They figure him out or something.
They got Debo coming back or no?
Debo's back last week.
It was last week? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the line on that's the 49ers by 7.5. Over under is 49.5. We're going to go with the under and the Niners.
And, of course, I'm going with the Niners here. I don't think Cardinals can hang. All right, we got Green Bay versus the Rams. The Packers are 2-2, and the Rams are 1-3. All right, the Rams started out pretty good, and they slowed up, obviously, since they lost Puka and Kupp. And the Pack started out slow last week against the Vikings, but, man, they come on strong, and I think that's partially because Love was hurt for a couple weeks, and he maybe just kind of get back into the swing of things. It took him a few quarters to get warmed up, but he did good. He threw for 389 yards and 4 touchdowns, but he had 3 interceptions. And I'm assuming that was due just to missing some time.
Yeah, the line for that's Green Bay by 3. Over under is 47.5. I'm going to go with the under. And I'm going to go with the Pack.
Ooh. And I am going to go with the Pack straight up as well. All right, we got the Giants versus Seattle. Giants are 1-3. Seahawks 3-1. Giants haven't looked good all year. They're middle of the pack in both offense and defense. They were right in the middle. The Seahawks are number 1 in total defensive yards allowed per game. They struggle with the Lions. I can't deny that. The Lions kind of ran up down the field on them, but the Lions are pretty good, and they were at home, so you got to give it to the Lions. They did well, but Geno Smith actually brought them back. And, I was thinking about picking him up for a fancy football quarterback.
And line for that to Seattle by 6. Over under is 43.5. Going with the under, and going to go with the Hawks. They got two pretty good running backs. Walker had 3 touchdowns last Monday night, and Charbonnet is pretty good also.
Yeah, I actually played Dustin in our league. I had him this week, and I was up by 40 points.
I scored 39.
He scored 39 with 1 player, and I barely squeaked it out. But I was thinking about pulling taking him and sitting, because I got Dak.
Yeah.
Fantasy football. I was thinking about sitting Dak and bringing in Geno. Yeah. So I don't know. Anyway, so my pick on that is Seahawks straight up. All right, we got our Cowboys versus the Steelers. The Cowboys are 2-2, and the Steelers are 3-1. So the Cowboys are down 3 defenders: Parsons, D-Law, and Bland. And their running game ranks dead absolute last in the league.
They just lost, I think, Cooks for one.
Yeah, I just wrote that down just right before we started, somewhere in here.
Cooks will be out with an infection in his knee or something.
Yeah, so I don't know who we're going to have at running back. Flournoy, maybe he might come in or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have somebody come in there and catch balls, but we're going to be in shambles. But anyway, so let's see, what have I got? The Steelers are coming off a loss to Indy. Pittsburgh ranked 9th against the pass and 3rd against the rush, which our rush sucks anyway, so they could rank last against the rush and they would still be fine. It's going to put some pressure on Dak with Cooks being out.
Lions Pittsburgh by 2.5. Over under is 42.5. Going to go with the over. And I know this is probably a homer call, but I'm going to go with the boys in the points.
Well, I'm never going to bet against my boys. I don't care. Can't do it. Boys are going to win it straight up. They can still win this game.
Yeah.
Because if they can still win this game, if they can shut down that offense, which they don't have a very good offense.
No,
Pittsburgh's offense is not that good.
If they can get Justin Fields running out of the pocket and or keep him contained.
Yeah, keep him in the pocket
and make him throw the ball. He's not.
I don't know who we're going to do it with though. We don't have Parsons or D-Law, so we got that new guy. What's his name? KJ something.
I can't remember his last.
I can't remember his last name.
Washington or
I don't remember. We got a new defensive end, so we're going to see how that works out.
That's just a Band-Aid.
Yeah. That's just that was Jerry Jones just trying to put something out there so he could get some hits on the internet, on social media. All right, the last game. We got the Saints versus Kansas City. Saints are 2-2, and the Chiefs are 4-0. The Chiefs are number 18 in yards allowed per game and 9th in points per game, and that's on offense. And the Saints are 17th in yards allowed and 7th in points per game on offense. The Chiefs are down 2 major weapons, Pacheco and Rice, but they did go pick up Kareem Hunt. Edwards-Helaire. Yeah, he's close to coming back, they said. So they're in kind of shambles as well as far as offense goes. But, Mahomes, he's going to pull something out. So
the Lions, Chiefs by 5, and over-under is 42.5. Go with the over, and I'm going to take the Chiefs.
And I am going with, straight up, the Chiefs. All right, so that's our picks for this week. I wouldn't go put a bunch of money on them just yet, but, you never know. We might get them all right. You don't know. But anyway, so like I said, that's our picks. If you guys would like, subscribe, comment in the video or comment down below, and tell us what you guys think. We know what you like. What do you like? Where do you think we're wrong? So anyway, that's all we got, and we will see you guys again next week.